what it do? It's me. It's that wrestling dude, and coming to us out of Canada. Member of the Moment of Truth, Michael Marsh. Man, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. I'm
Absolutely,
super excited to be
absolutely,
here.
absolutely. Let's get into it, man. Who trained you? How many years you in, and where you based out of?
So my original trainers are Matt Ecstatic and the Great Kasaki. I started training 10 years ago.
Okay.
Oh Lord, I was 16. And I was a ref for a long time. Actually, I didn't really want to wrestle, and then what was it? 2023, I did a couple of battle royals and stuff, but then 2023 I got real serious about it and had my official singles debut, and we've been going ever since.
Okay. All right.
Oh, and I'm
So
based out of Vancouver, Canada.
Vancouver. You're a fan of wrestling growing up?
Oh yeah, so my whole family's a bunch of wrestlers. My aunt's a wrestler, my grandfather's a wrestler, my cousins are wrestlers. It's a family business.
Okay. Okay. That's awesome. So, what's your earliest kind of memory of wrestling? Just going to one of their shows?
My first, so funny story. My grandfather didn't actually want me to get into wrestling. He was like, "Nah, this business is not good." Like, he didn't want it. And so my buddy, I think I was like 8 or 9, and it was my buddy's birthday, and he wanted to go to this indie show. And so a whole bunch of like 9-year-olds all went to this indie show. And then the first match that happens, my aunt walks out, and I was like, what? And so I started screaming her real name. And then she looks at me and she's like, shut up, that's not my name. And because she was the heel, so she just told me to shut up and she bullied me.
Yeah.
And then I got home and I was like, Auntie bullied me. Auntie's a wrestler. What is this? And so then they told me. And so then I fell in love with it ever since, went to every show. And then I was like helping out with ring crew, doing all that stuff. And one day the promoter came up to me. He's like, hey, so we have a tryout coming up. Do you want in? And then, of course, my dad said no. Everybody said no. But I went anyway. And lo and behold, the whole family was sitting there when I got there. And I was like, oh, well, surprise. And then, yeah, I passed the tryout. And the rest is history, you know?
Yeah. So they smartened you up to the whole business right there at 9, or you just gradually picked up here and there?
Just gradually. Like I just like again, they didn't want me getting into the business, and so it was that. But I was watching it and I fell in love with it, and I was like ask all the questions, figure out how, and it was so surreal to me, just like seeing these people do like having matches and stuff, and like hanging out with them at dinner and like hanging out at
Yeah.
their houses, and I was like, this is the cool. Like, what kid doesn't want to hang out with a bunch of wrestlers? You know, like it's just every kid's dream, you know? And then
Yeah.
getting to live that is super rad.
Yeah, absolutely. Your tryout, did your family knew you're gonna go there and it kind of tricked you, or that just happened to be a coincidence that they were there?
Oh, they had no idea. Like I
Okay.
told them I was staying at my buddy's house for the weekend, and then I left my phone at my buddy's house and went to the tryout, and then I guess the family kind of figured out that I was going to be there. And
Yeah.
because my tryout, I was 16 when it happened, I needed a parental signature. So I forged my dad's signature. I just did it. And then lo
Yeah.
and behold, he was there anyway. He was like, he was also the commissioner for All Star Wrestling, one of my home promotion,
Yeah.
and so he was just there anyway, and he figured that I was going to show up.
So he was cool with you forging the signature and everything?
Oh yeah, after we got home and after I passed the tryout, he was like, "I guess you have what it takes to do this. Okay, if you're really committed to it, I guess so."
That's got to be nerve wracking. Like to go to a trial. Not only is a trial at 16 got to be nerve wracking, but then your family's there on top of that, and people that are in the business like get sitting there judging you.
Oh yeah, dude. The trainers are super hard on me. One guy, we're pulling back the curtain a little bit. His name is Azim the Dream, and him and I have had we've been having a rivalry since I was like 17, 18. Him and my whole family have just been going at it. And he was there at the tryout, and he was sitting there, oh, you can't make it, you're not going to do it, blah, 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 blah. But that was like, he was just pushing me even harder. I was like, well, I'm going to prove you wrong now. And then coming in as a legacy, like there's something to prove there
Yeah.
from a wrestler that's just like someone that's never done it before, has no experience or nothing. And then
Yeah.
me coming in as a legacy being like, well, it's in my blood. I've been doing this. So I had to show up a little bit.
So the trial was for a referee spot?
No. So the tryout was just like they were doing an open tryout for like the school. So All Star had the school run by the Great Kasaki, Matt Ecstatic. There was a bunch of other spot trainers and stuff. And then I got there, and then because like I was 16, I couldn't have matches. And so then it just became me being a referee. And then so I was doing the wrestling training, doing ref training, and then working shows as a ref.
Okay, you catch on to being a ref kind of quickly, or was this
Yeah, I
process
loved
where-
it. Like a lot of people get into it and they're like, "Oh, I don't want to be a ref," but I'm actually so thankful that I was a ref because like you get to watch the matches, but there's nothing like being in the ring watching two people work and just getting to pick apart different little things because like no one else sees that. Like you're seeing it from behind a curtain, you're seeing it on a TV from the crowd, but like being in the ring and watching it and seeing what things work, how things function, and like the wealth of knowledge. Because like I've refereed for a lot of people, and so like I've refereed for big names, I've refereed for local guys. Like it's just seeing how different people work and like how they put matches together and all that. It's so mind blowing.
Yeah.
And so I'm very thankful that I was a ref.
Yeah. So to me, the hardest part to me kind of be remembering everything that's gonna happen in the match, because as the referee, you got to kind of be that person to kind of help them move stuff along, and to be able to remember to be in the right spots at the right times. And to me, that'd be probably the hardest part.
Oh, for sure. But we're always taught the horseshoe, so you work the corners, and then sometimes I'm just like, because I'm such a fan of wrestling, I just get so invested and I'm watching cool spots and I'm just standing there being like, oh shit, that's really cool. Sorry if I swear, but I was like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And then the guy's like, what are you doing? Like, come on, you're in the way, like move. And I'm like, bro, this is just cool. I'm just watching.
Because I feel like that happened to me too. Get just kind of get stuck watching, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm supposed to be doing something right now.
Yeah, I was like, oh my bad, sorry, I wasn't supposed to see that. Oops. But no, I love the business, and I didn't necessarily want to be a wrestler, but I didn't want to not be a wrestler. You know, it was one of those things. And then I wrestled a match under a mask as like some battle royal, and I took one bump in front of a crowd and was like, this is what I want to do. Like there's just no that first bump, the crowd reaction. I was like, hey, this is dope. This is what I want to do.
Better than the refereeing.
Yeah, for sure. And like I get to get pops, I get to get heat. Like the show's about me now. This is where we're at.
Yeah. Do you have a moment in the match that you remember that where you blew something, where you either forgot to count the three, or you just completely blew it for the match?
Pardon?
Do you have you ever been a match referee and you like either forget to count the three, like you forget to finish, you forgot to count the three, or you're in the wrong spot and messed their whole spot up, or anything like that sticks out to you?
Yeah, that's not gonna lie, that's happened a few times to me. There was one match in particular. I was gonna get squashed in the corner, and I lost count because again I was focused on what was happening in the ring, and then I jumped in front too soon. So the wrestler pushed me out of the way, and then the spot came where I was supposed to get squished, and so he reefed me back in there, and then he laid the boots to me a little bit afterwards. But you know what? Shit happens. But there's been times, and like what I was always taught is if they don't kick out, they don't kick out. Like there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah. Like you can try to fake it till you make it as much as you can, but at the end of the day, if they don't kick out, that's not your fault. That's not on you.
Yeah.
And you just gotta roll with it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Your first match in Battle Royal, was it because they didn't have enough people, or you just said, "Hey, I want to get on the action tonight, see what it's like"?
It was for a lucha, so it was a Cinco de Mayo show, and so there was so many of us. We were wrestling at Robson Square Garden. It's the little outdoor ice skating rink, turned it into a wrestling show, and a bunch of our guys from Seattle had to dip out early, and the last match was at like 11 o'clock at night, and the guys had already left for the border, and so they're looking around, and like I don't have gear. I'm in Converse, so my trainer looked at me. He's like, "All right, you're in the match tonight," and I was like, "Well, this is nuts. I'm 17." Yeah. I was like, "This is crazy." He's like, "It's just a battle royal. It's fine." So I go out in my referee shirt, my referee pants, it was like it was a black and white striped mask that I was wearing for ref, and then at my Converse, no knee pads, no nothing, just went out there in a battle royal. Broke my nose that match. It was great.
A better way to get it in, right?
They all saw the new guy and they're like, "Oh, let's give you some forearms." And then I was like, "Hit me! Like if you're gonna hit me, hit me."
Yeah.
And Buddy took that a little seriously and caught the bridge of my nose with his elbow.
Yeah. You were a natural since kind of day one, or it took a little bit of work?
Oh God, no, dude! It took me 8 months to learn how to do a left roll. I could do right rolls, I could do forward rolls. My backs are kind of all right. Like I could do all the other rolls, but I couldn't do a left roll for 8 months. And I'm left-handed, so I don't even know what the problem is. I was like, this makes zero sense to me. I can't do it. One of my trainers, Matt Ecstatic, one day after we were doing rolls, he was just so fed up with my garbage rolls that he tossed me into one of our other training rings, and him and I spent 45 minutes doing left rolls.
What do you think it was? Just mentally, or?
I don't know what it was. Like I couldn't get the motion down with my left side for some reason. I couldn't do it, but like my rights were perfectly fine. It's just I just couldn't do it left-handed.
Hey, you'd think being a left-handed, you be easier for it in the right-hand side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shit.
Sometimes you just can't do it. But no, it's just like I love bumping. Like some guys just are like, oh, we're gonna take it easy. No. I will bump and I will bump and I will bump. I love it. There's nothing better than hitting that mat, to be honest.
You like the pain of it, then I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It's a feeling like no other, I bet.
Yeah, it's love it. It's the adrenaline gets pumping. Like as soon as your music hits, dude, the adrenaline just takes you on a ride, man. Just seeing that. I worked a match a couple of months ago, first time working heel, and I was some Moment of Truth stuff. So I was with the Filipino freak Tizoy and one of our other MOT members, Rad. And so we went out for the start of the show and we were talking some smack to the champ and we all ran away because she scared us off.
Mm-hmm.
And then match one, Red's in a match and I'm cheating and I'm sliding stop signs and we're just causing shenanigans. And there was this little kid that tried to rip a stop sign out of my hand. And the whole crowd just hated me. And then my match happens, my music hits, and they booed me the entire match. From entrance to the end of the match, there was just boos. And I was like, I don't understand why y'all are so mad. But I was like, whatever I'm doing, it's clearly working because you're very upset.
Yeah.
My opponent, Johnny, his shoe came off in the middle of the match. So I chucked it across the building as one does.
Yeah.
And so I kept it as a souvenir till the main event. And I walked around during intermission with his poor shoe. And these kids are just trying to get this damn shoe back. And I was like, nope, it's my shoe now. Yeah, like they were not happy.
You like working heel better?
It's more fun, I love it. Like they're like my real job. I'm a nice person, but they're nothing beats just like hearing people yell the most unnecessary, unhinged things at you. There's just nothing better.
Yeah. Who'd you initially break in as?
So I broke in as the ref, and so the story for the longest time was with me and Azim the Dream. My dad was the commissioner, so I'm just like, we're in that family drama. And my dad is he's in his 70s now. He's not a spring chicken. But Azim grabbed him one day, so I just went and thumped him, just jumped him full. Like I'm in my referee gear. I just reffed a match, and now I'm just beating up Azim. And then we were setting up a match between Azim and I, and then COVID hit. So then everything got shut down, and then All Star Wrestling got sold to new people. So then we weren't sure how to continue that story. So we basically started all over again. And so I show up to a show in Chilliwack, and I had really long hair, and Azim cut my hair in the middle of the ring. We set up a no holds barred match.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, the next week in Vancouver, Azim and I, for my official singles debut, was Michiel Marsh versus Azim the Dream in a no holds barred match.
Okay. Oh, you get hit with anything crazy? Or you have any crazy spots in that match?
No, it was a pretty soft core, no holds barred match.
Okay.
I was dressed as a referee, to really sell that story of me being a ref turned wrestler. I had my wrestling tights on and a referee shirt on top,
All right.
and so I got the upper hand. And then Azim was cheating because that's what the heels do, and him and his tag partner Christopher Ryzik, they were just cheating the whole time, and then yeah, we the only the only weapon we used was a bag of powder. I was like, it's hardcore enough for me, brother. I'm gonna take powder to the face. Sounds like a win.
That's got to be rough getting powder in the eyes.
So we actually didn't have any powder, so we used my protein powder.
Okay.
Um, but protein powder liquefies when it's wet.
Yeah.
And so we just worked a match. So I'm like dripping in sweat. So he throws it, and then like it just straight into my eyes. And then I ate a super kick, and then I got to the back, and I was like, I can't even see.
Yeah, that's what I'm
And
saying.
so
Get that
I'm
powder
like
in the eyes.
stumbling to the bathroom trying to wash out my eyes. And like this one particular venue, we don't have a separate bathroom for the workers. So I'm in there after my match trying to wash out my eyes, and fans are like running in there and like yelling at me. So I start selling again. I'm like, God. I was like, can you just leave me alone so I can wash out my eyes, please? That was crazy. It was a lot of fun. And then I had a match a couple of weeks after that, and then we've been going strong ever since.
Nice, nice. Did you ever done any deathmatch stuff?
Never.
Would you?
I'm not brave enough to do a death match.
You mean
I like my
you're not
body.
crazy
Light
enough?
tubes scare me. Tags scare me. Nah. I want to go through a table though. Like, people ask me what my goals are in the wrestling business, and I was like, I have two goals. I want to be on Botchamania, and I want to go through a table, and I'd prefer them to both be at the same time. I was like, give me a botch table spot and end up on Botchamania, and I'd be the happiest wrestler ever.
Yeah, those deathmatch guys, man. I mean, because wrestlers are crazy to
Dude,
begin
that's
with,
a
but those are
different breed. Like,
yes,
I
yes,
I love watching deathmatch wrestling. Like, I fully support it, but I am not brave enough to do so.
yeah.
I'll support the homies doing it. I'll go to the shows. I'm like, yeah, hey, that's my friend. But like, that's as far as I'm going. I'll be sitting in the seats while they're doing all that craziness, dog. I'm not
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah, no, I'm good on that. Getting hit and stuff like that with weird stuff, or get stabbed, or with the skewers on the forehead too. I'm like, I don't need any of that in my life.
No, like, I could never.
What was harder for you, the physical aspect or the character work?
Um, that's actually a great question. So I'm not going to say that I was a natural, because I wasn't. It took me a long time to get a bunch of the moves down, but once I got it, I got it.
Yeah,
Like the character works pretty easy. Like when I'm being a heel, I just turn me up to 10, and I'm an asshole in general. So I just turn that up a little bit and get everyone riled up and going. But I definitely like character work is like a face is hard for me, because I just do like it's on me, but like I do the typical generic, hey, I'm a hot baby face, let's go.
yeah. Let's
But
go. So you
yeah,
go
I was
to the
like, yeah,
ring.
I hit the card. I'm like, let's go, whatever. Insert town name here. Let's go. And but no, I'm very quick witted, so I'll just be making jokes as a face. And then
Yeah,
I realized that I could also do that, but as a heel. And it got it got lots of good reactions, because like this kid was wearing a Fortnite shirt, and I looked at him and was like, I bet you can't even build. I bet you suck at Fortnite. And this kid cried. He was 12 and he cried because I told him he was bad at a video game. I was like, that's insane.
yeah. Hey kid, you shouldn't feel bad because I can't build either.
Right. I'm on the call. Pardon?
I can't build either, so the kid shouldn't feel so bad.
Yeah. Dude, no builds is, and that's the thing. Like, I play Fortnite, so I just hide in no builds because I can't build at all. My friend's like,
Same,
yo, crank
same.
90s. I was like, what is that? I was like, I'm spinning in circles. No, I'm going back to the no builds. Leave me alone.
I hate the builds, man. You about to drop them all, suddenly build up a wall. I'm like, bullshit. I had you.
Yeah, I can't do it. I was like, leave me alone. I'm not playing with all these sweats. I'm going back to the old people and the people that are bad at the game. And that's my people. Leave me alone.
What's been your best moment so far? Your favorite moment?
Oh, I think getting to share the ring with my old man was really special. I got to be there the day he got inducted into the All-Star Wrestling Hall of Fame.
That's cool.
So I got to be there for that. And that's the same night I had my debut.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that was just really special, like full circle moment. He was really proud. He was happy, and then after that, he was like, "Yeah, you got what it takes to be in this business." And then he stepped away as being the commissioner, and he's like, "I'm just going to be here as a fan now." So watching that, getting to see my friends do some crazy things, like going off, doing a whole bunch of fun stuff, and it's just I love it. Yeah, I think that first match I had was a real big highlight. Like most people's first matches are always usually a highlight, but it was that match was just so special because my brother had passed away just before that, and so it was his funeral the day after my show or after the show. Yeah. So dad going to the Hall of Fame, me having a match, and then just like knowing my brother was there watching over me was just it was really special.
Yeah, you're gonna be able to top that anytime soon.
Pardon?
No, that's an amazing. I mean, you can't get better than that. Then.
Yeah, it was magical, dude.
Yeah. Well, your dad was just a commissioner in his career. He wrestled early on.
He was a wrestler before. He was a manager before. All the things, and then he stepped away for the business when he had us.
Yeah.
And then I decided that I wanted to be a wrestler and I wanted to show interest, and so then he came back. He was like, "Well, if you're going to be in the business, I want to be here too, and keep an eye on you, don't you know?"
Yeah. You mentioned wrestling in the ice rink. Is that like the most unique venue you wrestled in?
I think so. One of my favorite venues, like I've wrestled at rodeos, I've wrestled at fairs. We have this one venue at the in Vancouver called the Maritime Labor Center, and it's got a giant pirate ship in the back corner.
That's cool.
And I keep trying to convince the higher ups to let me jump off of it, but that hasn't worked out yet. But I'm gonna keep trying.
You just got to do it and ask for forgiveness later on.
see, I thought about that, but also I'm not a small man, and so trying to convince a guy to catch me off of that is just
Yeah.
But I was like, hey, maybe if like we're in some like big battle royal or something, we can. There's a whole bunch of us. I was like, one of us can jump off of it. Yeah. So that would be really fun just to jump off of that. But yeah, wrestling at an ice rink was super dope. There was 3,000 people there. Yeah. So my first debut match was a battle royal in front of 3,000 people.
Are those?
I was like, well, that's nuts.
Yeah. Are those rodeo and fair shows more harder to work in front of than the regular crowd? Because I mean, a lot of times those people aren't going there for the wrestling; they just happen to be walking by and like, oh, look, wrestling. Let's stop and watch for a minute.
Yeah, it's those crowds are really hard to get going because they, again, like you said, they don't know wrestling from a hole in a wall. They're just at the fair, they're at the rodeo, and they're like, hey, there's wrestling, let's go watch it. So like you have to work extra hard to get them going. But once you have them, you have them, Yeah. So like we do three at the Agra Fair, we do 3 or 4 shows a day. Same thing with the rodeo. So the same people will show up eventually. From one show to another, and so they're like, oh hey, I've seen what this guy can do, and then you just keep going. But yeah, it's those fair shows are hard to get the crowd going, but once you have them, you're just set.
Yeah.
But except for the heels job are super easy because they just say you're stupid, and then you just be a prick, and then the crowd just hates you instantly. And then I wrestled this guy named Sabboy Denzel, and him and I was face, he was heel, and we were both faces at the time, so he was turning heel mid-match. And so we get out there and we're like, well, we're both faces, so none of us can cheat, yada, yada, yada. And then a minute in, Denzel started cheating, and he looked at the crowd, he said something to them, and then the entire rest of the show, it didn't matter what I did. If I fell down, if I got up, if I threw a punch, if I did a move, they were just cheering me because they hated Denzel. It didn't matter what I did, who did it, or vice versa for Denzel. Anytime he did anything, it was just booze.
Yeah,
And I was like, that's how you get the crowd, you know?
absolutely makes your job easier too.
Oh, 100%. I was like, that's what I love working Azim, because everybody hates him. Like, all of our local fans just hate him so much that it doesn't matter who he's wrestling, they're getting cheered because simply for the fact that Azim's in the match.
Yeah. Have you ever wrestled in the States, in the United States?
I have not. That's on my list of things to do. I'd love to work in the States. So far, I've ref for a bunch of people in Vancouver. I've wrestled for two companies in BC so far, but I'm hoping that list grows next year. I'm taking some time off for the summer. I have a booking in May in a couple weeks, and then I have one at the end of August, and then that's it for the summer. So I'm taking most of the summer off to relax, recoup, all the things.
Do you have any stories like, what is it, Lance Storm and driving through Canada in the wintertime where you have to drive like 2 miles an hour because it's snowing so much? You got to cross the frozen lakes. You got any crazy road trip stories like that?
No. Oh, well, so I did a road trip in February, and wasn't necessarily my craziness, but I have family up where we were going wrestling in this place called Falkland. Now, I've never heard of that place in my life before. And so I volunteered to work for the show. And then I asked my family after, I was like, hey, where is this place? And so then they showed me, and turns out my brother lives like right there. So I called him up. So I went up a couple days early, and it's like February. So like there's snow on the highway that we have to drive on.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to thank my lucky stars. There was no snow, no nothing. We drive up there, do the show. It was supposed to be a double header, but the second show got canceled. So I came back a day early. And then as we were driving home, it just started snowing everywhere. Like just after I passed the highway, it started snowing. And I was like, well, glad that's not my problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, it's just nothing. Vancouver doesn't get very much snow.
Okay.
I live like Vancouver is basically California or Oregon. It rains a lot. And then you get in the summer, it gets really hot. But like this year, it snowed twice.
Okay.
So I'm very blessed that I don't have to deal with all that.
Yeah, I'm down in Florida. It never snows here, so
That's crazy. That's crazy.
You mentioned a Moment of Truth. How'd you link up with them?
So Jordy Taylor was the founder of Moment of Truth, and I've ref for Jordy before. Him and I have done some stuff, and he ended up coming to one of our training our training facilities. So he came to one of our training classes. Funny story, we actually got our times mixed up. So Jordy's crew showed up at the same time that our crew did. So we just did one big giant class, and he's like, I didn't even know you were like training or anything. He's like, I had no idea. I was like, yeah, I just didn't want to be a ref anymore. I got this wrestling bug now. You got the itch. Once you have it, you have it. And then a week later, he sends me a text. He's like, hey, kid, you want to join the Moment of Truth? And I was like, is that even a question? Let me in. And yeah, so joining that was just really cool. Lots of different guys in there. I have learned so much from those guys from the small time that I've been. Like, I haven't even been in there a year, but I've made a bunch of contacts. I have learned so many things from these guys. It's just crazy. The wealth of knowledge from all of the members in there, and like being like, I'm not green in the business, but I'm green as a wrestler. Like, I've only been wrestling actively for 2 years now. So I'm still new, but not new. I'm at that weird stage of like, I'm new, but I'm not new.
Yeah.
And so just getting to hear the wealth of knowledge from these guys that have been wrestling 10, 15, 20 years all over the place, it's so valuable.
I bet to have that, be able to pick up like a Rolodex of numbers and be able to pick up the phone and call somebody and ask them for their advice. That's awesome.
Exactly. And that's one of the best parts about MOT is they are so willing to help us younger guys out. It's like crazy. Like, I'll post a little match clip in there, and then I have 20 DMs from guys being like, hey, that was super awesome. But hey, maybe work on this one thing that maybe didn't look so good during the match. But it's all constructive criticism. There's no one being like, hey, that sucked. Like, it's nothing like that. Everyone is just trying to help everybody.
That's cool.
And that's something real special that you don't find everywhere else.
No, not at all. In any aspect of life, you don't find it at all.
Yeah, the MOT is we're brothers, and like when we say brothers, it's a real thing. Like
Yeah.
there's so much support. Like when one of us is talking about some real like non wrestling stuff, everyone is still there supporting everybody. It's a solid group of people.
If you had to say they had a mission statement, what do you think it'd be for the people out there to learn a little bit more about them, what they're trying to do?
Oh, the
What you
mission
got? Yeah, the
statement.
mission statement. Like what for people out there that don't know, what would you say? I guess quote unquote mission statement behind the moment of truth.
My favorite part of our mission statement is never never miss a chance to shut the fuck up. It's my favorite part because again, everyone's always like me, 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 me. I'm so great. I'm so great. But like you can learn so many things from the guys that come before us that you like. It's an everlasting tree of knowledge, and that's such a true statement. And like in real life and wrestling, like there's always going to be somebody better than you. You could be the worst, you could be the best, but there's going to be someone better than you, and you can always learn something.
Yeah.
Like even at training, like even if I'm just going over, like I'll go to our training classes, and like even if we're just doing the basics, I'm learning something. I'm putting reps in. I'm doing anything available to always get better. Like if you can become 1% better every day, you're doing something right. And so never missing an opportunity to shut up and listen is very nice. Like and
Yeah.
like some people don't take it that way, and they're like, oh, I don't like the people that get it. The people that don't, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's the thing with like people need to I kind of say swallow the ego sometimes and just try to learn from other people. Especially because it makes it easier. They basically have the answers to your test, and I hate when people try to. Oh, I don't need the answer to the test. I'm winging myself. I'm like, why? Like, why? There's
Right?
yeah,
Right. It's so much smarter. Just like how like everyone just helps each other, and like the knowledge that's passed on to me, I can pass on to other people, and the cycle just keeps going.
yeah,
And that way everyone can get help and everyone can get better. And that's at the end of the day, that's what it's about. Like for me, I'm not really looking to get signed anywhere. Like I love my shoot job. So I don't want to wrestle 5 days a week, to be honest. That doesn't sound like a fun time to me.
yeah,
I love getting to pretend to be a superhero on the weekends, you know?
yeah, yeah,
Like I'm in this to have a lot of fun, and I get to hang out with my friends and I get to have fun while I'm doing it. That's a win. Like when wrestling stops being fun, that's when I don't want to wrestle anymore. And so when it becomes not like a full-time job instead of a hobby, that's not fun for me anymore. And so like I just want to have fun, and some people just like don't like aren't like that. And like I'm like whatever you want to do, you want to do, but support the people. Like there we have a trainee. Well, he's not a trainee anymore. He's a wrestler, but he started training when he was 40 years old. And like everyone was like, "Oh, it's a young man's game." And now Justin Sider's doing all sorts of crazy stuff. But it's just like you're never too old, you're never too young to start. But as long as you're doing everything for the right reasons, that's all that matters.
yeah, absolutely. Man, I've interviewed a couple guys too that started later on in life, actually during COVID, because they're like, "Oh no, the world's ending. Let me do what I really always wanted to do." And it's they'll
Mhm.
have that same mindset is like, I'm just doing what I love to do, whether or not anything ever comes from it. Who cares? I'm doing what I like to do. I'm having fun with it.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's such a good point. Like whatever happens happens, but like I'm not actively seeking it out. Like I've done seminars with some cool people. Like I did one with James Storm. That was a lot of fun. James Storm he's good. He's good stuff. He's got a wealth of knowledge. He's very good. And my other favorite seminar I've done was with Davey Boy Smith Jr. That one's always a lot of fun. I've done his seminar 3 times now,
All right.
and it's you fell down for a second. But yeah, his seminar done it 3 times, and it's never been the same. Like it's always something different. It's always something new, and yeah, it's just awesome.
That's fun, man. You said you got a match coming up in May. Go ahead and put over who you what promotion you working for.
It is for All Star Wrestling, and we are wrestling at the Cloverdale Rodeo. So
Okay.
we're in Cloverdale, British Columbia. We have shows on the 17th, 18th, the 19th. So I'm working on the 19th. It's actually my masked gimmick that I'm doing right now.
Okay.
So I have an ASW specific character that I'm doing. and then I am Michiel Marsh everywhere else.
All right. You like working under the mask?
Pardon?
You like working under the mask?
I 50-50. I like it and I don't. Like, I'm actually like claustrophobic. And
That's
so
perfect.
wrestling in a mask is fun because like no one knows who you are. You're just going out there and you're doing it.
Yeah.
But like I also don't like being stuck in a mask, but it's so much fun and I get to doing a lot of stuff. So like I love the gimmick that I'm doing. It's super fun. I get to have a lot of fun. But yeah, nothing beats not wearing a mask, but I think personally, like if I wasn't claustrophobic, I think I'd spend my whole career in a mask, to be
Really?
honest.
Really?
It's that you get that anonymity, you get if it's awful, no one will ever know it was you, so it's fine. But then when you're not wearing a mask, and like I did my second match ever, 2 minutes into the match, I got concussed.
Oh
I
man.
took a clothesline, took a nasty bump, and then because I'm stupid, I finished the match. And I was in there for 80% of the time, but I didn't know where I was. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just getting beat up. I was like a dead fish in there, to be honest. I was just flopping everywhere.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't know where I am. I'm so lost. And so yeah, I was like, and then when you're not wearing a mask and you have a match like that, everyone's like, oh, well, that wasn't good. So the mask is very nice for that, but like also masks are just super cool, you know? Like you can get fun masks, you can get gear to match your mask. Like there's so like I love gear. I am a firm believer that everyone that wrestles should have gear.
Yeah. For
Like
sure.
I don't love the people that show up in like t-shirts and jeans, you know? Like unless your gimmick is a countryman, you don't need to be wrestling in jeans. And
I
so
mean, and that's true because I've seen guys like that like look like they just rolled out of bed and came in and got in the ring, and it's like you obviously
like
look like you put zero effort into this.
like I am a fat man, but like I'm a firm believer that you should try to at least look like a wrestler. Like I've dropped 100 pounds, so like I'm getting there. I was 350 pounds a couple of years ago when COVID happened,
Yeah.
and so I'm down to 240. So I'm right at where I want to be. But like I have real gear, I have professional gear, and I think that's really important because especially like indie shows where like you never know, like you could be wrestling here one day and then you could go get signed to WWE the next day, like you never know.
Yeah.
And it'll help looking professional, and a lot of our guys down here do that. A lot of them have real gear, a lot of them have professional made gear, and it's so awesome to see. But yeah, I'm not I'm not a fan of the jeans.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You never know.
I love gear. Back to the previous. Sorry if you can't tell, I have ADHD. I'm just all
No,
over the
go
place.
ahead. Have it. Go ahead.
But the cool part about masks is like you can get so much gear, you can get all sorts of chaos, and it's just like, oh, I want blue. Okay, let me get a full blue gear set. Oh, and then oh, you know what? Blue's not really my color. Let me get something else, and then you can just get a bunch of masks. And it's not cheap loving gear so much, but yeah, if I was super rich, my entire closet would just be wrestling gear. That's when I win the lottery. I'm not telling anybody, but there'll be signs. I'll be having packages showing up every day of just wrestling gear.
What people don't realize too is you never know who's watching, you never know who's gonna come across your stuff, and if like the first 3 seconds you look like a schlub, I mean that could drastically change. You know, like someone might just change the channel on you. Oh, this guy looks like a schlub. I don't want to watch him. Move on to the next guy.
Yeah, it's just crazy. But yeah, no, wrestling is just like I think what I love the most about it is I get to perform, you know? Like
Yeah.
I like to make jokes, I like to do stuff like that. But then when I get to like my music hits and I'm there with the crowd, it's just like I've made a kid happy. I've made this old man that was looking grumpy all day. I had him react to something. There was this old man. He was not a fan of me. He tried to hit me with his cane. And I told him to put his dentures back in because he was yelling at me and they fell on the floor. And he wasn't a fan. And so he tried to beat me up with a cane. And I said, listen, pal, you can't even stand up, let alone run. So I'm just going to leave now. And like, it's just like getting to entertain people just brings me joy, you know, like making other people happy, whether I'm a face, whether I'm a heel. and just like pissing people off. I'm getting that reaction. And like the fans all want to get involved. Like I'll go yell at the guy in the fourth row. Like I'm not just yelling at the people in the front row. I go all over the place and I make sure that I can interact with as many people as possible, because at the end of the day, that's what they pay to see. They're paying to see us get beat up, but they're also paying, especially at indie shows, they're paying for that interaction. And so it can't always just be high five in the front row. Like I go all over the place.
Did that old guy wash off his dentures before he put them back in his mouth, or?
I don't know. So as you can tell, I'm blind without my glasses.
Yeah.
And so I wrestle without glasses sometimes, and like without my contacts. Like, I forgot my contacts, and that happened to be the day that I didn't have contacts. So I can see in the ring, I can see the ref, I can see the wrestler, but I couldn't point out my girlfriend sitting in the front row if my life depended on it. I was like, I know she's here, I know she's there, I know my people are there, I know the fans are there. I can't tell you who's who.
Yeah.
I was like, everyone's just blurred together. Unless you have like crazy, like pink or green hair. I'm like, oh, that's the green haired person. That's the pink haired person. But that's all I got for you. So I got to the ring because I was afraid he was actually going to hit me with his cane. So I just ventured myself back into the ring.
I know what you're saying, because I used to wrestle in high school. I was on the wrestling team, and there was a couple matches where I didn't have my contacts in, and like the coaches are yelling from the sidelines, and I'm like, I can't see what you're saying.
That's what I can do for you. I
like,
cannot help you.
Don't get mad that I have no idea what you're talking about. I can't see whatever hand gestures you're doing, man.
Yeah, I did that with my masked character recently. I went to the gear bag, and I had my Michiel Marsh gear, I had my other gear, and I went and I was like, my contact container is here, but there's nothing in there. And I was like, wait, did I already put them in? So I took my glasses off, and I'm like, nope, definitely not already in there. And so I put on this mask, and I was like, yeah, I can't see anymore. I was like, well, let's just hope for the best, shall we?
All right, man. Before I let you go, what's something you know now you wish you knew when you first started?
Take your time, to be honest. Like when I was first couple of matches, I was just go because that's what you do. You want to, but then I realized that I was in a 10-minute match and I blew my load in the first 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, and then I had a bad match because I didn't have anything planned. I didn't know anything. I was like, I did all this stuff, and that was our whole match. And it's been the announcer hadn't even said 5 minutes gone by. And I was like, I have 10 more minutes of stuff time to fill, and I don't have anything to fill it with. Yeah. So that's a problem. So slowing down and talk to as many people as possible. Like I will go to the shows, I'll shake everybody's hands. Even when I'm not booked on shows, I just go all the time, and I'll sit there and I'll talk to people because everybody knows something new. Yeah. Like there's not going to be a day that someone doesn't know something. And so it's always learning and like watching matches. Like when I watch matches, my friends hate it when I watch Raw with them, because if it's at my house, I'm rewinding every match 2 or 3 times, just because like the first time I watched it as a fan, and then I'll watch what the one guy's doing, and then I'll restart it again and watch what the other guy's doing, because you're not going to be able to catch every single little thing. And like I pay attention to like the little details, and it's just like the only way to get better is you keep learning. Like you can never stop learning.
The day you stop learning is the day you stop getting better.
That's true. See, bro, we're on the same wavelength here, man.
Yeah. Go ahead and let the people know where they can find you at.
You can hit me up on all social medias. My Facebook is Michiel Marsh. My Instagram is Michiel Marsh 98. I'm on TikTok at your boy Marshy. I am on Snapchat as Michiel Marsh, but it's spelled Michiel. I'm kind of special like that. Apparently it's French. I don't know. I speak English and Greek. That's all I got for you. So I don't know where the French side came, but it's here apparently. So we're rocking with it.
That's why I asked you before you came on how to pronounce your name, because I didn't want to be like a French pronunciation.
Yeah, every time it's always Michiel Marsh, and I'm like, not close enough. Like I used to have really long hair, and so like and no beard, so everyone was like Michelle, and then like I could kind of, and I was like, nope, the hair's gone, the beard's coming. I'm done with that nonsense. It's not happening no more.
All right, Mike. Appreciate you coming on, man. Had a blast, man. Hope nothing for the best for you in the future. Everyone, go check them out. I'll put the links all on the bottom of the YouTube video. Thank you again, man. Everyone, have a good
man.
night.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll chat soon.